My favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie of all time, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I had to do this movie justice. It's in timeline order, so I'm gonna give it a shot here. This movie has so much ass kicking in it. It's got so much Steve Rogers goodness. Like the first one and all the other movies with Captain America in it, he's a man railing against the status quo. Steve Rogers, people keep trying to tell him what to do and how to be, and he says, fuck that. I'm going to do my own thing. He always keeps in mind what Dr. Erskine told him, stay true to his heart, and he does. This time he's up against S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra. What I like about this movie, what I like about Steve Rogers, is he doesn't care if he has to be him against the world. Like he's an unstoppable golem. He just keeps moving. He just keeps moving. He just keeps moving and kicking all kind of ass along the way. There were so many scenes where they're just fighting and kicking each other's ass. I couldn't fit it all in this thing. Black Widow returning is amazing as well. Scarlett Johansson, she's got this character dialed in. What I really like about her in this movie, in the first Avengers movie, is she shows a vulnerability here. She is badass, but she's human. There's a scene here where Winter Soldier just like shoots her in the back of the shoulder, and the look on her face is powerful. The Winter Soldier is devastating, terrifying. He is a force to be reckoned with. This begins my love affair with Bucky Barnes. I loved him in the first Captain America movie, but this movie really puts him on the map for me. There's something about the way he moves. He's so kinetic. He's so precise. He's so brutal. Seeing him in Cap fight, it's magic to see on screen. That's another thing I love about this movie, is the fighting is so kinetic. I love a good martial arts film, and I love seeing superheroes and having them combined along with espionage and just full on heart. It has such a strong heartbeat to it. It pulses all of the way through the film. There was never a moment where I felt like I was bored, or I felt like it was too much, or I felt like there's too much CGI, or it just had a perfect pace to it. I don't know if y'all have noticed this, but I've had nothing but action scenes go on so far. They do something with this movie I don't see in many MCU movies, and that's telling the story through the action. There's so much action here, but it makes sense. You can see what's going on. You can see the power between these two men. And when you see the reveal of Bucky at the end of the scene, it's such an eye-opening moment for Steve. I remember seeing this in the movie theaters. I remember this guy was sitting behind us and he goes, it's Bucky Barnes. It was so good. It was so good. And then, just to top it all off, you have the famous Robert Redford in this film. I gotta tell you, he's not in any of the other MCU films, but he behaves like he's been in all of them. He does such a wonderful job of interjecting himself and his character in the story. You believe he's been there forever. He's supposed to be longtime friends with Nick Fury, and he's the big cheese of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's the man above Nick Fury in this film. Robert Redford is no stranger to espionage films, and I think his acting is so on point in this film. It just elevates it to another level. They need Robert Redford in all of their films. And then you have the introduction of Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson. This begins my love affair with him as well. I love Sam Wilson. He plays the normal guy. He's Steve Rogers without the serum. A bit of a different flavor, of course, but Steve Rogers nonetheless. He's got heart. He's got willpower. And most importantly, this man knows what it means to just push through even if the world is against him. That's why I can't wait to see him as the next Captain America. The S.H.I.E.L.D. is more than the man. The S.H.I.E.L.D. is a responsibility. The S.H.I.E.L.D. is willpower. The S.H.I.E.L.D. is, even if you feel fear, you know how to continue on and keep pushing even if your wings are torn off. Remember that. Winter Soldier just tears off his wings, and you think he's down for the count, but no, he's got more fighting to do. He has to go up against Crossbones as well, and he gets his ass kicked, but he still keeps fighting. Same thing with Nick Fury. Nick Fury has not looked more badass than he does in this movie. This whole car scene is fantastic. They did a great job of showing what Nick Fury can do while just in a car. His car's amazing. I want his car. I don't know about all you, but I want this damn car. Everybody and everything is super badass in this movie. Everybody's elevated. That's another reason why I love this movie. There's no player in here where I feel like I should not be in the movie. Those Thor movies, for example, I didn't care about Lady Sif and the Warriors 3. I didn't care about James Flunkies, right? I just didn't care about any of that. But in Captain America, you don't get that. None of the characters are boring. None of them don't make sense. Sharon Carter, she's only in there for a little bit, but she's still a lot of fun. Seeing the whole Nick Fury assassination bit, even though you know he's Nick Fury and he always finds a way out, you still believe that this could be the last time that you see him. There's strong emotion here, and more importantly, there's a strong sense of growing friendship. These three here, Maria Hill, Captain America, and Black Widow, they seem like an unlikely trio, but they're not. They work together very well. Then you add in Falcon in the mix, and those four people, they're a fantastic team. I would see many other movies with all four of them together. One thing they don't really explore very much, and I don't know how I feel about it, Black Widow and Captain America, they seem to have a flirtation in this film. And it's pretty strong, and I was kind of sad that it doesn't actually kind of happen in the movie. That would have been kind of a cool duo. It's cool, I get it. Peggy Carter, I'm glad that ends up with her in the end. I think Sharon Carter would have been really cool too. But Black Widow and him, I don't know, there's something cool about them. There's a Batman Catwoman kind of a feel to these two people. They kick so much ass together, but ultimately, I don't want to call them polar opposites, but there is something that probably wouldn't last very long between them. But they work wonderfully as a team. She's his ride-or-die chick, and he's her ride-or-die dude. They're totally in it for each other, back to back, just fighting, kicking all kind of ass. That leads me to my last big point of this movie. It's not just those two. Everybody has each other's backs. Steve has Bucky's back all throughout this whole film. It's the meat of this film. It's the meat of Captain America Civil War as well. That love affair between those two dudes is so strong, so powerful. I couldn't help but root for them every step of the way. I want Steve to help him out. I want Bucky to kind of come to his senses, you know? They are with each other to the end of the line. And then you got the same thing with Steve and Sam Wilson. It's the same thing. These two guys become such great friends, and it grows throughout. Same thing. It really does become, I'm with you until I'm end of the line. There's such a brotherhood and sisterhood between all these people. They are indeed stronger together. That's the big glue to this film. Captain America doesn't do this all on his own. Black Widow doesn't do this all on her own. The Falcon doesn't do this on his own. Nick Fury doesn't do it all on his own. Maria Hill doesn't do it all on her own. They all do it together. And hey, fuck it. Even Bucky, he doesn't do it all on his own. At the end, he kind of turns his head around. Bucky's character arc is so fascinating to me. He goes from being this tip-top hero to this Manchurian candidate, and then kind of snaps himself back out of it again. That's what I like about Winter Soldier starting here and then moving on to the rest of the MCU, especially in Falcon Winter Soldier. You get a sense of a man kind of in and out of darkness. He's a really cool character. He's really fun. And damn, they make him so badass in this film. There's so many scenes where I couldn't keep my eyes off the screen. And I've seen this movie many times, but I just love seeing Bucky kick ass. He just looks awesome. He just terrorizes all these guys. He kicks a dude into the fucking plane propeller. He's just amazing. This movie is a love letter for all you best friends out there, for all you brothers from another mother, for all you sisters from another mother. Just keep in mind, man, like whatever you guys go through, there's no sense of no turning back. There's always a possibility to rekindle a friendship. And I'm glad to see it here. I'm glad to see these longtime friends finally get back together. Beat the shit out of each other first, but then come right back to being friends. That's the way it should be. All right, guys, let me know what you all think of this movie. And damn, have a good day.